Hello, my name is Birgit Brevard. We met the last time, but before I get into the event planning part, before we are going to rewind and actually plan the event that we are going to tweet and do whatever with, a little reminder, survey. Please fill it out before you leave today and drop it off. Just very quick, short and sweet, and you can say what you want to say, freedom of speech. All right, now we are planning the event that we are going to publicize. Of course, we have to start out with, and you are in charge. What is your name, sir?
Robert Stratton.
Okay, Robert?
Yeah.
Yes, you are in charge of you getting a new school, and you are planning the opening of that school. And so you have to start by organizing a planning committee. It may seem easy, and you may have done this in the past. You may have planned your parent event, your PTO meeting, and so forth. However, when it comes to a real, successful, larger event, you need to have a committee. You cannot do it all. You should not do it all by yourself, because many things can be lost and forgotten in the planning of the event. Have about 10 committee members in your group. Always, everything we do here, always have it approved by the principal, involve the principal, have a principal designee available, teachers, PTO, representatives from the area office. I come out, there's no problem, you can call, and if I'm available, I come out. If not, have some questions for me ready, and I will answer them. Representatives from supporting services, because you will involve people that will set up sound systems and so forth for you. And organizations, business partners, absolutely. You want to involve them. Can we go to the next slide? You want to prepare an agenda for every meeting, because if you don't have an agenda, again, we can kind of easily get sidetracked. And in that meeting, in every meeting, you have to talk about date, time, and location. You have to establish your guest list, your RSVP date. I'm not going to go through everything. But I mean, the more in detail, the better your event will be. Can we keep going? Because I don't want to...
Keep going?
Yep, keep going. Take minutes. Because when you have questions, it's very helpful. And I have all these examples in the booklet, that the handout that was available up front there, the dedication handbook. Have an agenda for every meeting. Follow, yep. Determine what kind of event you are planning. Now, the booklet that is out there is called Dedication Handbook. However, you can use this pretty much for every event that you plan in your school. Determine what you have. If you have a ceremony for a new school, an addition for your school, a remodeled school in a specific area, a groundbreaking, or just a press conference. The first thing you need to know is what you're going to name your event. Go ahead. Set a date and time for your event. In case of bad weather and other unforeseen circumstances, always have a plan B ready. Bad weather, of course, I have another date. Keep in mind testing days, the days students may not be in school, religious holidays, we don't want to get in trouble. When selecting the date, check the weather report. Fall and spring are always good when it comes to dedication ceremony, or anything that you want to do outside. Fall and spring is always the best. Make sure you contact the following offices: the Office of the Chief Executive Officer, the Board Office, the County Government, and your honorees. The preferred time to have an event, to have most people in your school available, since you want to include everybody, is around, well, I would actually prefer 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, maybe too early for some. 10 a.m. in the morning is a very good time to start an event. The program itself do not plan your program to last longer than 45 minutes. And if you plan your event for 45 minutes, it usually will go for an hour, but do not plan it for longer than that, because you will lose people. You will lose your parents. They will get restless. If they bring their children with them, they will get restless. If you have dignitaries, they don't have the time. They are the ones then getting up and leaving the event after having done their spiel. Coordinate who should be invited to be part of your, if it's a dedication ceremony, any event. coordinate with anybody. Don't have, I don't know, Robert invite a group and you invite another group. They don't know from each other. You duplicate the efforts and it's not going to work out. Only include confirmed speakers on your print program. And indicate on your print programs that they only have 2 minutes to speak. If you tell them 2 minutes, they will speak 5 minutes, but at least they have something to go by. Determine the location. Of course, groundbreakings are always outside. However, let's say there is a blizzard, maybe you can limit the outside part where they are all in the, where they're with their hard hats and digging in the ground for 15 minutes and then call everybody inside and complete the program in there. Press conference, always, it would be, nice to have, always kind of have your envision your setting. A small room filled with people standing up looks better than you have a whole cafeteria and you have 25 people in there. This event is important to you, again, may not be that important for other people, so you want to fill the room with folks. Next. You have developing the guest list. This is a biggie. We need to, it depends on, again, everything depends on what kind of event you have. Definitely always invite elected officials within the individual district. In some of you have direct contacts, you have developed relationships with them as well as, media. So you can reach out to them and we help you as well. The chief executive officer, his cabinet, and depending what kind of event, school construction program, that is only comes into play if you're doing like a groundbreaking or an opening. If you do another event, of course, you don't have to invite them. But it's always good to have Parks and Planning invited, NAACP, unions, and so forth. Staff and students, this event is making your school look good. Always, always invite your parents. Do not single them out. And always make sure that you invite them. Protocol. This is a real biggie. I have seen lately, this book list, we've sent it out in the past. We emailed it to the schools, to every school. It's been online. And anyway, we have seen agendas where we list the teacher first, the state representative third. That is inappropriate. We have to follow a certain protocol. We have to start with the federal government and work our way down. Even if it is about the community leader, that is the person that we want to honor, we still have to, on the program, we have to list people a specific way. Next. Focus on details when you do your invitation. Identify your invitees. Determine the RSVP date, mail out invitations and formal letters 4 weeks prior to the event. Follow up with phone calls, that is very important for the special invitees, especially if you want to have somebody speak, and then send out the event announcement. Now these are the details that are always in the aftermath. We say, oh, we should have done this, that, and the other. They may sound small, but they are very important. Technical requirements. You need to make sure that you have a podium with a press box. We call it mouth box, press box, so the media can plug in. Cordless microphones if you need them. Sound system. All this can be, if your school doesn't have it in your cafeteria or in your auditorium, wherever, we can provide that. We can help you get that. Sound system, set up for video presentations. Everything you may need. Some schools, their flags look horrible. They think, okay, now for this event, we need to have something look better. Let us know. We can help you with a US and MD flag. Make sure that the school system logo is on the podium. Or at least if you have a nice podium in your school, that you have your school's mascot on there. I've seen podiums that are really beaten up, and it's not your fault. But we can work that out. Make sure that we have, if we are outside and it's in the summer at 10 o'clock, it can be very, very hot. Have something, provide them a canopy or something, a tent. Signage for reserved seating. You always have to contact security. They send somebody over to make sure that somebody's at your school. Depending on, again, what size of event, VIP parking and so forth. Have reserved seating for elected officials. They love that kind of stuff. You make them your partner that way. Decide on gifts. Now, gifts may sound really huge. It's not. I mean, I've had events at schools where the students sat down and wrote little poems, rolled them up with a little bow around it, and they handed them out to the visitors. Wonderful. People loved it. And of course, let us know always about all these things that are happening. Let us know, communications know, so we can help you advertise. Next. A huge part for events is because, if anything, your parents will come if you have food available. And not just your parents, elected officials too. If they hear that you will also take care of their needs, they will be out there. So determine if a reception will be catered. Small food items will get you far. Little finger foods, great thing. If you have something outside, what we did, for example, for groundbreaking, we had a table set up, and they had boxed lunches or boxed breakfasts, boxed food, items. But make sure you know who's paying. If you have a new school, you have money set aside in the budget. If you don't, if it's another event, talk to your PTA, talk to your business partner. Try to wheel in, that way some funds to get some refreshments. And this is what I was just talking about, the funding. Create a summary sheet, about the following. What are you spending on printing, postage, catering, decoration, support staff? Not everybody is doing this voluntary. Some people need to be paid, want to be paid. They only do it because they, will get paid. That's fine. Security services again. If it's a school dedication, there's a plaque involved. And any other, even if you have it in the weekend, that costs money. Again, you are so nice. Robert is nice enough to come in to volunteer services because he is all about branding, about talking about the good things that are happening in his school. But his coworker may not be that way. Let's go to the next one. This is more or less a little fun thing, and again, I'm not reading each and every piece, but if you have an event, all kinds of things can go wrong. So have your extension cord, have a little, have some Kleenex, some breath mints. If you are talking to people all the time, you don't want to breathe in their face and kind of smell bad. Go through that list when you have time, and just use it. After the event, always have a debriefing, a recap, because there's always room for improvement. So if you have an event that you think is going to happen the next year, already plan, kind of set it for the next year, and send a thank you note, a letter to those people that helped you plan your event. And always remember, it's always, whatever we do it for our students. We don't do it for ourselves, we do it for our students. And eventually it trickles down, it comes back to you and makes you feel good. So I guess you do it for yourself. Thank you. We go right into the next thing. Now I know you all think probably this is crazy. How can you do all this? Well, I have a few pointers that can make your life easy. And that is building community relations. And Dave spoke about it earlier. I think everybody pretty much hit on this one. Because, you cannot do this by yourself. And community engagement and participation play a major key role in fostering children's well-being. So let's see what we can do. But the first thing, how we can build our relations, improve the relations with our community, is we can search the internet, see what is out there about, what is written about the community we live in. We can meet the people. It's the biggest thing. We can always judge easily, can't we? But it's very hard to meet those people. It's hard for me to come to you and really talk to you, harder than, from afar say, she's a good-looking lady, but from what else do I know, We can attend meetings that are in the community, neighborhood association meetings. We have to be seen, and we have to be willing to listen, because the only way to learn about your community is to listen, to hear what is out there, even if it is bad. Next. Does everybody in here knows who the elected officials for their school are? Wow. Very good. Very good. However, it's easy to find out. Either you contact us, you can contact the General Counsel office, you can go on the internet, you can even look in the book. We have all the elected officials listed, not now by school, by individual schools. However, I mean, if you really want to be safe, you want to invite elected officials, invite the ones that are in the book, and you are safe. Community leaders. Do you know the community leaders that are influential in your neighborhood around your school? Only a few of us do. Churches. I think a lot of us know the churches. I mean, a lot of us are involved on our personal time in the churches as well. Businesses, very important. Residents. And we need to talk to our youth, which is very important, because they will be taking care of us in the future, and if they don't, we are in trouble. Next page, please.
What about alumni youth? I know elementary
Absolutely.
schools, but maybe like you foster,
Perfect.
like high school.
Perfect.
Could they do like a community service hours? You know, kids have to have that. So maybe elementaries could look to middles and high schools for community service.
I think that would be great, yes. Absolutely. I mean, to work hand in hand.
You got to start looking at that kind of aspect of things.
Absolutely.
You know, when all those other people don't want to get involved.
And it is very hard. I mean, this piece is very hard to get them interested in something, because I'm old, I'm ancient when it comes, and I'm trying to get them interested in my cause. So, I mean, I know that's, you know, they think, you know, what is she talking about? So, I mean, you have to be kind of...
Well, what you put into the school is what you're going to get back. Because
Exactly.
I'm old too, but I could probably go to school right now and say like, hey, I need 10 of you to do this for me. Come on, let's go, and I can.
Yes.
get
Yeah.
So
Can we
if
do the
you're
name?
at events, if your face is around, that's going to get people to work for you.
Now, you will run into resistance, and that's what I was talking about with youth, especially because they, you know. So the first thing, and the big thing with youth is they have to trust you. I don't believe in ordering anybody. Of course, I can go anywhere and say, okay, I need five of you by tomorrow, and you have to be there because I said so. I don't think that's the best way to work this, because that way you will not have their buy-in. But to build trust, that is the biggest challenge. And you have to identify those people that want change in your neighborhood. There are some people that don't want to be involved with the school. They are happy with the things, with the way things are. They're really not interested. Okay, those people you don't even you see when you run across those. However, you also see those people in the neighborhood that are always out there, that come and visit your school sometimes at times when you don't think it's very helpful. But those are the ones that want change. Involve them. Be persistent. Identify your trusted partners. Identify point persons. You don't have to do it all. Especially, and this is something, and it's a hard pill to swallow. But if I want to go out there and represent and help you with your task, represent your school, I may not be the person to do it. I may have the knowledge, I may know a lot about your school, but I may not be the person to do it. It may be because of, again, of gender, age, ethnic background, anything, just because that is not my neighborhood. So go out there and find that person who can help you and represent. To build community relations, what do you build? What do you get? What is the win-win situation here? You build successes. You have opportunities for your students, for your staff, for your community. Exchange is always good. Leadership by example, that is a piece, of course, that would be expected from you because you are the one going out there trying to recruit somebody. Great customer service is a way to get them in. Because if they see a smiling face greeting them at the door, that's a better thing than having somebody there who says, okay, Randy, 5 minutes. Next. You have to provide, and now you have to do something to get these people into your schools. You have to provide them with a description of needs. What does your school need? What does your school have? Description of assets. Description of available resources. Do you have a question?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just in my mind thinking, this is like things that we got to work with our PTA and get, this is where you get this ball rolling. I feel like if you, like I need to go to one of those meetings and say, hey, this is what we need. Or what do you think about like having some kind of a town meeting? Because I think when you put other people, everyone loves to be in charge of something. People like to feel needed. So what can we do, community, to help you support us and do da-da-da-da?
Absolutely.
We just had like some kind of a, maybe tie it into something fun or something.
Tie it into your PDA or PDO meetings.
Right.
Absolutely, that would be perfect.
They're the ones that are driving that train.
But everybody, I mean, I am more willing to volunteer at your school or to be your, I don't know, second in command if you tell me, first of all, what you need, again, and what I get in return. I also want to see your data. Explain, show me a little bit. Give me some information about your school and train me. Next, please. So what we have to do is create a clear mission. Most of you have a mission, I think. Clear goals, funding opportunity, needs assessment, and everything kind of, I mean, this is like a 5-year, 3-year plan that we've developed for ourselves. We need to do the same thing. If you don't have a plan, we don't, I mean, this thing is a good idea. We go back to our offices, we're going to talk to one person, that's it. That easily can happen because of, you know, we all work in these many jobs. So it is really a good idea to write this down and develop a plan, and then after some time, go back and see if your plan worked. Why would it work to build community relations or to have somebody come into your school? It's I mean, all these things you probably all say, okay, we know that, great. You know, but we sometimes have to remind us, you know, how important these kind of things are. Building community relations work because you know where you're going. You know which tools to use. You know how to develop personal relationships. You definitely follow up. You tell your people, you tell folks, you know, this is the outcome. This is what you helped us doing this, and this is what happened. You know your partners. That's a really big deal. You build on their strengths. And it's, of course, because it's a commitment long term. I think that's another very important piece. Nobody is happy about that one-timer that shows up one time. Of course, we don't send anybody away. But, you know, you want somebody who is there that you can really, again, rely on.